Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. So children, the lesson that we are going to do in English today is a lesson for a standard 5th English, but it will be a lesson in scholarship English. Okay, so we are going to look at scholarship. This is a scholarship lesson related to English. And the lesson that we will do today is lesson number 1.4. Now 1 stands for the vocabulary section and 4 stands for the subsection. That is, we are going to learn about antonyms or opposites and prefixes. Okay, so there are two different ideas which we're going to learn in this lesson. One is antonyms and one is prefixes. Now you will wonder why we are learning these two together. That is because these two are very closely connected. There are many letters which can be added before certain words to form new words, and so these are called prefixes. Okay, you know that letters which are added to certain letters are called prefixes. Now, prefixes, when they are added to many words, they form antonyms. So, prefixes and antonyms are somewhere connected. So, because of prefixes, antonyms are formed. Okay, not all antonyms, but some antonyms are formed because of prefixes. That is why we are learning the concept of antonyms and prefixes together. So having said that, let us move on and let us see what the meaning of antonyms are. So antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning. So sunny is the antonym for cloudy, or you can also say vice versa. You can say cloudy is the antonym for sunny. Now we have been looking at meanings, that is synonyms, and antonyms, that is opposite words, since we were in a very lower class. So you know what are opposite words and you know what are similar words, but we are only learning it under a new name. That is, for similar words we already learnt about synonyms, and now these are antonyms. Antonyms means opposite words. Okay, so sunny and cloudy is a pair of antonyms. Sunny means when the sun is out there in the sky shining brightly and there is brightness all around. But at the same time, when there are lots of clouds in the sky, what happens? There you cannot see the bright sun and everything seems a little dull. So we call it as cloudy. So sunny and cloudy are antonyms of each other. So let us take a look at some more antonyms. We're going to look at some simple ones first, and then we will look at a little bit more difficult ones later. So let us look at the first word, soft. So what is the antonym for soft? It is hard. Okay. Then we have the word happy. So what is the antonym for happy, or what is the opposite feeling for happy? It is sad. Then you have the word full. And what is the antonym? It is empty. Sometimes your glass is full and sometimes it is empty. Sometimes you are happy, but sometimes you are sad. The feather is soft, but the rock is hard. So see, these are all opposite ideas, so they are called as antonyms. Give. What is the opposite of give, or what is the antonym of give? It is a take. Okay, so these are some very simple and easy examples of antonyms. Let us look at some little difficult examples of antonyms now. So you have import, export, you have last, first, imprison, free, admit, deny, include, exclude, strengthen, weaken, lead, follow, strong, weak. See, there is a difference now between strengthen and weaken and strong and weak. Strengthen and weaken are both verbs, and strong and weak are both adjectives. Left and right, sweet and sour, careful, careless, beneath, above. So these are some more examples of antonyms. Okay, so now children, how will you learn more about antonyms? Nothing. You can just learn about antonyms by keeping on reading examples. Okay, so that is the only way you can learn about antonyms. So remember, antonyms are formed in two ways: by using completely different words like we have seen now. So import is export, imprison is free. These are totally different words. We can also make antonyms by using prefixes, so that we will see during the course of our lesson. But come on, think about some words which can make antonyms by adding prefixes. This is your assignment. Okay, talking about assignments, after you watch the video, I have some small assignments for you, which I will be telling you more about towards the end of the video. So what is your assignment? I told you, you have to think about some words which you can make antonyms with by adding prefixes. Okay, so this is your homework. We will of course be doing many exercises, many examples where we will add certain prefixes and make antonyms also. Okay, so come on, let's see something more about these antonyms. Now before that, we will talk about prefixes. We have to study two things, isn't it? We have to study about antonyms and we have to study about prefixes. Now when we talk about prefix, we have to understand the idea that there is something called as affixes in English. Affixes. Now affixes consist of prefix and suffix or suffix as we call it. We learnt more about suffixes in the previous lesson. Okay, but once again, let's just revise. So what are affixes? Affixes are of two types. So we have suffixes or we have prefixes. Alright, so we already know about suffixes. We have learnt about suffixes in great detail in the previous lesson. Today we will be talking a little bit about prefixes only. So let us concentrate on prefixes today. So what are prefixes, children? A prefix is a word, is something or a group of letters which is added to the beginning of a word to make a new word. So see, dis, un, re. So most of the times when you add a prefix, what happens is we create the antonym of the word. That is why we are studying these 2 points together. Okay, so by adding prefixes like dis, by adding prefixes like un, by adding prefixes like re, sometimes il, ill, sometimes mis, miss, sometimes ir, sometimes im, im. So when you add these prefixes to a word, then you create an antonym. Alright, so this is about prefixes, which we are going to study more about in today's lesson. So let us define a prefix. So what is a prefix? Letters added before a root. Now what is a root? A root is a root word. I will tell you what a root word is also. So letters added before a root word at the beginning of a word. So suffix was added to a root word at the end and prefix is added to a root word at the beginning. Okay, so that is a prefix. Let's take a look. What happens when you add a prefix? A prefix changes the word meaning. So it changes, it completely turns the word over. Alright, for example, see, we have the prefix un, un, un. The meaning of un is not, not. Okay, not. So if there is a word called lucky, if you add un to it, what will happen? It will become unlucky, which means not lucky. If there is a word cook or cooked, if you add un to it, what happens? It becomes uncooked, which means not cooked. So you see how lucky becomes unlucky, cooked becomes uncooked because of the prefix. Okay, so this is the meaning, this is the definition, and this is the function as well as a few examples of prefixes. So I hope the idea of prefix is clear to you. Let me make the idea of a root word clear. We already have done this when we were doing the suffix part of the lesson, but even then. So what is a root word? A root word is a word that makes sense all by itself. So that word can stand on its own. Okay? So even if it is taken alone without any prefix, without any suffix, it is called as the root word. It makes sense on its own. It is also sometimes called as the base word. Okay? So now let's take a look at certain prefixes, their meanings, and an example also. So you have to begin with the prefix re, R-E, re. What is the meaning of re here now? Re means again. Okay? So see what example they've given you. Rewrite. So write again. Okay? What other word can you think of with re? Come on, think and write it down in your notebooks. Okay, you can also think rework. Alright? Revisit. So think what words can come with re. So rewrite means write again. Revisit means visit again. Rework means work again. Let's take some more prefixes and look at their meaning and example. So you have un, un. What is the meaning of un? Un means not. So you have unkind, someone who's not kind at all, unkind. Then you have pre, pre means before. And what is the word? Pre-made, so made before. Nowadays we have pre-made lunch. So lunch which you do not have to light the gas and cut vegetables and cook the dal, nothing. Everything is pre-made. You have to just buy it and then eat it. Pre-made. Okay? Then you have dis. What is the meaning of dis? Dis means not, or sometimes dis also means the opposite of. For example, dishonest. Dishonest means what? Someone who's not honest. Okay? Then you have I am im. Im can also mean not or opposite of. For example, impolite. You have impossible. Then let's see one more example. So you have non. Non means what? Not. Simple. Non means not. So you have nonsense, that which does not make sense. You have non-stop, that which does not stop. Okay? And final one more example, miss. So miss also means wrong or bad. What can you take as an example? Misbehave. You mislead someone. So what are you doing? You're doing a wrong thing. You are guiding the person in a wrong way. Misguide. Alright children, so these are all the various prefixes that you can use. There are many more examples. Now whenever you do any particular exercise based on words, then what I told you that your dictionary is your best friend. So the more you refer to the dictionary, the more examples you will get. Okay, so just think if you have to write some more examples with say un. So you can write unfamiliar, you can write unnecessary, you can write unsafe, unhealthy, unexpected, unfair, and so on. So see, so many words you can keep on writing. Okay, so this was about the prefixes. Now sometimes children, you can also change the suffix to make the antonym. Okay, we look at those examples also. For example, for careful, if you remove the full and you add the less, then it becomes careless. Okay, so come on, now let's look at the type of questions that can be asked based on this topic. So there are 4 types of question patterns that you have. The first one is select the word that is the antonym of the given word. Very simple. There will be a word which is given. There will be 4 options which are given to you. So you have to just select the word which will be the antonym of the given word. Then you have select the correct pairs of antonyms. So there are 4 pairs of antonyms given to you. There are 4 pairs of words given to you, out of which 3 could be synonyms. So 1 will be a pair of antonym. You have to select that. Coming to the next one, which prefix will you use to form the antonym of the given word? So you have to choose a prefix now here. So the prefix has to be correct. So for regular, you cannot write unregular. You cannot write misregular. Okay, you will have to write irregular. So that will be the third pattern. And finally, the fourth pattern will be you have to fill in the blanks with the correct antonym of the underlined word. So there will be a sentence in which there will be an underlined word and there will be a blank. So you have to find out the antonym of the underlined word and write that antonym in the blank. Okay, now when you explain the pattern, you might not understand it well. So what we do is we look at exercises so that the pattern becomes clear to you. So come on, let's start by doing some exercises with pattern 1. So there are some examples we are going to solve now. Now let me always tell you, like always I keep repeating that whenever we do these questions, children, always take a look at the question and pause the video before you look at the answer, because then you're supposed to work out the answer yourself, isn't it? So come on, give the antonym of the given word. This is question number 1 for you. Defeat is the word. So these are your options. So war, peace, victory, or lose. So what it is? Is it the first, second, third, or the fourth one? It is victory. So you defeat someone or you gain victory over someone. Alright? So the answer is victory. Question number 2. Same pattern. The word changes. Confess. So the options are deny, refuse, reject, accept. So when you confess means what do? You accept that you have done something. Okay? So then what will be the opposite of confess here? Will it be deny? Will it be refuse? Will it be reject or accept? It will be deny. You accept or you confess to something or you deny to something. Okay? Refuse will be the wrong word. The correct answer is deny. Then you have the next example number 3 from pattern 1, severe. So you have serene, you have lenient, you have cruel or hard. So think about these words and see whether you know the meanings of some of the words. Serene means very calm. Cruel means someone who doesn't have mercy at all. Hard means something which is not soft. So severe will have the word lenient as its antonym. Okay? Coming to the next example, example number 4, partial. So you have partial again as the antonym, particular, whole or private. So which could be the right answer? Yes, it is question number 3 or option number 3, partial, whole. So you have partial eclipse and whole eclipse. Okay, total eclipse. Partial means a part and whole means total. Coming to the last example in this particular pattern, let us see what the word is. So example number 5, we have the word vacant. So let us see what could be the correct answer. So is it false? Is it empty? Is it occupied or close? Now you will see that some of the choices which are given to you are a little confusing. Okay, so what will be the answer to this? Will it be 1, 2, 3 or 4? Yes, it is 3. You might be tempted to think that it is empty, but no. Opposite of empty is full. Opposite of occupied is vacant. Though the concepts might be the same. See, the room is vacant, so the room is empty, but that is not the answer here. Okay, so the answer is occupied. So vacant, opposite is occupied. So this is the idea, like the room is vacant means there is no one living there or there is no one staying there, and the room is occupied means there is someone there in the room at that particular time. Okay, so this was question pattern number 1. Let's go to pattern number 2, where we select the correct pairs of antonyms. This is question 6 for you. We will look at a few examples from this particular pattern. So let us look at all these pairs. Pair number 1 is barren, fertile. You have noble, rich. You have vacant, empty. You have blame, envy. So you will see in these pairs, some of them are related, some of them are synonyms, some of them are not related at all. But what is our answer? What are we looking for? We are looking for option number 1, barren and fertile. Barren land is that land which does not give you any kind of produce. Fertile land is that land which is very, very good for agriculture and it gives you a lot of crop or produce. Okay, so the correct pair of antonym is answer number 1 or pair number 1. Moving on to the next question in this pattern, again we select the correct pair of antonyms. So you have strong and slim, you have strength and firmness, you have friendly and hostile, and blame and envy. So which do you think is the right answer? The answer is answer number 3, friendly and hostile. Now we all know what the meaning of friendly is. The opposite of friendly, that is someone who is not interested in meeting people, someone who is a little negative in their behavior, is hostile. Okay, let's move on to the next example in the same pattern. So we have these 4 pairs of words for you: straight and long, common and cheap, shorten and straighten, and domestic and foreign. So this should be an easy answer for you. So what is the correct option? It is option number 4, domestic and foreign. So domestic travel means traveling within the country and foreign travel means going abroad. Okay, so domestic and foreign are antonyms or they are opposite words of each other. Let us come to the second last example in this particular pattern. So let's take a look at our pairs of words. So you have future and hopeful, careful and wasteful, ripe and raw, hot and frozen. Now like I told you, one of the option will always be a little confusing. Okay, so let's take a look at which the answer is. So you have answer number 3 as the right answer, ripe and raw. Some of us might get confused with careful and wasteful also. But remember, careful is careless. Hot is cold. Okay, hot is not frozen. So you have to read in order to arrive at the right answer. Next you have the last option in this particular pattern. Let us look at the antonyms here. You have jealous and crazy, curious and uninterested, dangerous and bold, fabulous and excellent. So yes, which could be the right answer? It is answer number 2, and there is no confusion here as far as the options are concerned. It's very clear. Okay, someone who's curious means someone who wants to know a lot about many things, and someone who's uninterested means someone who just doesn't want to know anything about anything. Uninterested. Alright, so let's move on to the next pattern, that is pattern 3. We are going to talk about prefixes now here. So remember, the lesson is antonyms and prefixes. So come on, let's try to combine both the ideas together. So which prefix will you use to form the antonym of the given word? This is your question. Let us look at the word. The word is decent. So which prefix will you use with decent to form its antonym? So will it be iridescent, will it be ill-decent, will it be undecent or indecent? Yes, it will be answer number 4, indecent. Okay, was this simple? Let's move on to the next pattern or the next question in the same pattern. So you have activity, and the 4 prefixes are ir, ill, in, dis. So will it be iractivity, illactivity, inactivity or disactivity? Yes, it will be option number 3, inactivity. Alright, coming to question number 13, pronounce. So what will be the opposite of pronounce? What will you use as the prefix to make the opposite or antonym of pronounce? So is it mispronounce, is it unpronounce, impronounce, or ill-pronounce? It is correct, mispronounce. Say something in the wrong way. Use the wrong pronunciation for something. Okay? Let's go to the next example here. Example number 14. Pleasure. So what is the antonym of pleasure? Will you use ir and say pleasure? Will you use ill and say ill pleasure? Will you use un and say unpleasure? Or will you use dis and say displeasure? Yes, we will use dis and say displeasure. Let us take one more example here, which will be the last one for this pattern. So question number 15 will be obey. You have to find out the prefix which will go with obey to form the antonym of obey. So we have miss, we have dis, we have ill, or we have in. So will you say misobey? Will disobey be right? Will it be ill-obey or inobey? Yes, it will be disobey. Answer number 2, option number 2. Okay, children? So this was the third pattern. Let us go to the last and final pattern, pattern 4, where you fill in the blank with the correct antonym of the underlined word. So you have a sentence here. As the soldiers advanced, their enemies dash. So you will find out the opposite word or the antonym of the word advanced here from these options. So you have as the soldiers advanced, their enemies returned, their enemies retreated, their enemies treated, or their enemies remained. Yes, so what will be the correct word which will go in the blank? It will be word number 2 or option number 2, retreated. So we'll say as the soldiers advanced, their enemies retreated. That is, they started moving backwards. Okay, let us go to the next example here. Example number 17. The strong lion tried to help the dash lioness. So here we are looking at the antonym of a strong. Okay, let's take a look at the options. So you have the strong lion helped the stronger lioness, or the strong lion tried to help the unstrong lioness. The strong lion tried to help the clever lioness, or the strong lion tried to help the feeble lioness. So which will be the correct answer? It will be option number 4, feeble. So you have the sentence which goes, the strong lion tried to help the feeble lioness. So strong and feeble are the correct pair of antonyms here. Let's go to example 18. All proceedings should be legal. Never dash. That is, all proceedings should be legal. They should never be dash. So what will take up the dash? Will it be 1, illegal? Will it be 2, dislegal? Will it be 3, unlegal? Or mislegal? So will you say all proceedings should be legal, never illegal, never dislegal, never unlegal, or never mislegal? So what will you say? You will say all proceedings should be legal, never illegal. So that is option number 1. Alright, come on, second last example with the same pattern. And the sentence here is, don't get a cheap gift, get an dash one. So we are looking at finding out the antonym of the word cheap. So will it be uncheap? Will it be expense? Will it be expensive? Or will it be spenced? So what will be the answer?
It will be expensive. Option number 3. So you will have the sentence which goes like, don't get a cheap gift, get an expensive one. Okay, coming to the last example here in this particular topic, example number 20. This problem is simple, but the last one is very dash. So simple is a word we are looking at here. Let us look at which could be its antonym. So will it be complex? Will it be option 2 different? Will it be option 3 expensive? Or option 4 easy? Yes, it will be option 1 complex. So we'll say this problem is simple, but the last one is very complex, difficult. Okay, children? So this was the lesson about antonyms and prefixes. We saw that antonyms can be sometimes completely different words also, but antonyms can be made adding prefixes too. Okay? So I hope you understood the meaning of antonyms. I hope you enjoyed looking at the various examples and also doing all these particular exercises.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.